The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Hello.
And hello, it's Wednesday and we're back for one more show of the table topics. And on the other side, over there on the Niagara side, is John. How you doing?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm doing okay. I just did my Portuguese show by myself.
Oh, how come?
But it was good because I had plenty house to clean.
Oh, okay.
So I found it like half an hour to clean house, to bring everybody back to updates with all this situation with the budget and city council meetings. And so did you had a chance to watch the city council?
Yeah, I did. I didn't. I missed toward the end, which I've been watching on video, through the website. So I did get to a certain point. I guess there was a big blowout at the end of it. Some criticism of the current administration. I haven't got to that point. I did hear it on the radio, so I actually want to see it live or recorded. So,
well, we could see by the end, we could see the frustration of Council Kadim. And I don't blame him.
Yeah, but I don't, Carlos, what is the alternative? I don't understand what the alternative is that he wants. And I think to say that this mayor is not doing that the last administration is doing better than this mayor, I think that's not a good way to go about things. That's not a way of working with people to get things done. And second of all, I don't think it's true. Other people might disagree with me, but I don't think that's true. You have the same financial people that are in there now. He's saying this at the same time. He's complaining that they stopped a trash fee a year or two back by this administration, taking away $3 million and putting us in this predicament, or adding to our predicament due to the COVID-19. So I want to know what the solution is. I wasn't hearing a solution from him.
Well, I see more the frustration on him on the side that, I give him ideas, they say yes, and then they put it aside.
What?
On that, I can feel his frustration because it's not the first time that I gave an idea to the administration and they just put it aside.
But Carlos, what are the ideas? We're not hearing them. What are the ideas?
I don't know which ideas he's putting on the table.
But what I'm getting at is this is not the first time at the rodeo for these people. These people have been at this rodeo for years now. So what's any different than it would have been 2 administrations ago? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I didn't hear a solution.
Well, here.
I heard was, and I'm going to just interrupt one last time. All I heard was, the financial person say, what are your suggestions? Well, I gave suggestions. I gave them, but you don't want to listen. What are they? Let the public know.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of criticizing them and saying this is the worst administration, the Carrera administration ran 10 times better than this one.
Well, what he actually want to say is, as bad Cesar Correa was, his budget never had a $3.5 million deficit.
Yeah, but I
think that's what he want to get it out.
And Carlos, we never had a COVID-19 in 100 years. You know what I mean? So it's like you got to cut people some slack here too. You know what I mean? We didn't have this in 100 years. We basically, no restaurants are getting any income anymore. That was taxed for us. We get 0.25 from each restaurant donut place, whatever. So we weren't getting that. We weren't getting the pot thing that we were supposed to get. Excise tax and things like that, I'm sure had lowered down because people weren't buying cars. They weren't getting money from meters, that kind of thing, the parking meters. I'm sure all these different permits they didn't get. So my thing is, if it's such a good idea, let everybody else know. And then, you know what? They'll call the administration and say, why aren't you doing this? But to say that the Carrera administration, and I haven't heard that yet, and I might actually reach out to that council to say that when with this crisis, we're $3 million in a deficit because of not having that bag thing. And then you're going to come over now and say he ran it better. Come on now. You're really reaching at straws.
The thing is, we're talking about financial, and financial, we have the same person. So on that, I can give it to you. If it was a different person doing the financial and say, this is total on you. But again, this is the same lady, and I keep repeating myself. This is the same lady that said the city was on a good financial position to give up $2.5 million on the purple bags. This is the same lady.
Yeah, Carlos, I don't know if she specifically said that. I think she had to, when the mayor's your boss, the mayor's your boss. These people are on a contract, so they have to abide what they're going to say. She wasn't, when I would listen to that, she wasn't really secure on that. She was passing on what they said. Do you think you can do this now? I'm not going to worry about what's going to happen.
Like I said on previous shows, if I'm taking financial responsibility for money, I will say, I don't think it's a good idea, but at the end of the day, the mayor makes the decision.
I don't think she thought it was a good idea. She never said, I think this is a good idea to take $2 million or $3 million on the budget. I don't ever remember her saying that.
The last I recall was Sean Cadine sitting on seat 2, asking her, you think it's a responsibility, a good financial responsibility, giving up a $2.5 million from the revenue of the purple bags? And she said, yes, the city on this budget is in a good position. So now she comes back, and now she comes back and she says, does it need it?
Last year, Carlos, we were in a situation where they could say that. Okay, we could say the same for the administration before this. When we had Flanagan there, they said the same thing. And I'm not taking that away from him, because we had Sean as the financial person at the time said this budget, we are good to go in this city. And about 6 months later, we have all these issues. So, you know what I mean? And I'm actually going to reach out to that counselor today, and I'm going to tell him this stuff, because
something else too is they counted. That's why they short, because they counted $4, $5, or $6 or $7 million from the marijuana stores on that budget.
Exactly.
Which they didn't have it. They don't have it today.
Exactly. But I'm personally, this is me. I'm tired of the finger pointing, especially when people have been in this job or they've been in different jobs. Finger pointing does absolutely nothing, because what they can do is, if Mary Sahadi was a politician, she would have gone back after that counselor and said, look, what happened when you were in? So I don't even want to hear about people battering another person from before. I want to know what your solution is. What are his solutions? You get money here, and these are all the bills. You know what I mean? It's like in your home, Carlos, right? If you have $1,000 worth of bills every month and you're only getting $800, what do? You lay off, right?
I just explained the way they want to pass this budget. That's why the majority of the city councils don't feel comfortable. Is like, you don't have a job today. You're going to go on vacation, and you're going to think about paying the bill when you come back.
Well, but that's
without a job.
But everybody's doing that now, every state, because they don't know what kind of funding we're going to get from the state. Now, we might have an issue in 2021 when the economy, people aren't going back to work. And a lot of businesses are going to close over the next 6 or 7 months if this isn't settled. So what's going to happen? What's going to happen is probably what happened in 2009 when they came in and said, we have no money. The state of Massachusetts has no money. We're cutting local aid. Then what do? We're going to have a repeat of what happened in 2009. So my thing is, I keep on hearing people say we got to get off the state finance or off their payroll, which we get 60% of our budget from there. But I never hear any solutions to how we're going to do that. Never. Mm-hmm. We never hear any solutions.
Well, another thing that I think that's wrong is we cannot touch the budgets of the school department. Yeah. I mean, they can come in next year asking for $200 million, and we are obligated to give them to him with no question.
But there are things, Carlos, about the trash. This has been going on for years, and this is something that they've discussed. Why don't they just do it? This would save money right here. Any housing over a 3-family, 4-family, 5-family, 6-family, 8-family, you have to pay to get rid of your trash. We're not doing it. That's a business. It's not something that's owned by a landlord that lives there. 4- and 6-family houses very seldom are owned. That's a business. Pay it.
Even the tax, even the real estate tax should go up because they are in a business. That's a business.
So why doesn't anybody ever talk about that? That's something right there that could get some decent money, but nobody says anything about it. Nobody. Why wouldn't at least the trash thing? Because when you get the multifamilies, a lot of people don't abide by what they're supposed to be doing. I mean, you drive by now some of these houses, there's like crap coming out of the recycle bin. You know that it's not recycling, pizza boxes and these things. So they're not complying. I'd knock them off right there for not complying. You're not complying with this. We're not going to pick it up.
Exactly. I mean, but and again, it's money to be made. It's money to be made, but they like to go to the easy job instead of us, fighting a ticket in court because this guy didn't comply with the trash. Yeah. It's easier just to go up on the meter 50 cents an hour.
Yeah. Well, and
because it's the easy way. Nobody's going to complain about it.
Yeah. Well, and let's face it, a lot of the people that are that have housing development / are big property owners, a lot of them, I'm sure, give to people's campaigns, right? We all know that. So you don't think they're going to get them mad?
Yep. Well, I didn't hear the part yet that they talked about they dying to put meters on Pleasant Street. They every year they say, no, I didn't hear that part. I want to see who's the city council that brought that up, because I'm going to have a very interesting conversation with that city council. Okay, because guess what? When the city council, and I had the conversation with Linda about this just a couple hours ago, was when they treat the Pleasant Street the way they treat South Main, maybe we're going to start having a conversation about putting meters on Pleasant Street, because everything that happens in South Main, we have $100,000. It's for South Main. We have new barrels. It's for South Main. Okay. And they put new barrels on South Main. They put the old barrels on Pleasant Street. They got new banners for South Main. They put the old banners up on Pleasant Street. So you cannot compare. That's why I told her, you cannot compare Pleasant Street with South Main. Okay, South Main streets at 5 o'clock, you don't have one dead person walking on that street, because the court closes at 5 o'clock. Nobody walks on South Main. But guess what? The difference on Pleasant Street, that doesn't matter what day, what time of the day, you have people walking on Pleasant Street. It's because in top of every store, you have 20 families living. And the front door is Pleasant Street. That's the difference. So when the business complain about South Main, it's not fair. It is fair. It is fair, because I went to a business on South Main for lunch, okay? Years ago, I went to a business to South Main for lunch. My lunch was $7, and I had $20 on my car for a ticket. You think I went back to that business? Yeah. You think I went back to that business? I never went back to that business. Okay, so it's not about so you cannot compare Pleasant Street with South Main. You cannot compare. If you think that you don't have enough customers on South Main, move to Pleasant Street. I bet you will have more customers.
Well, is that because they're fixing the road? I heard they were fixing part of Pleasant Street. They got
No. It's because they want to raise the money on the parking meters, and it's not fair because Pleasant Street don't have. But guess what? South Main pays the most business tax that South Main does. So don't you think they deserve customers not to have to worry about it, putting a meter on the parking spaces? The city are the one that making money with the business. You cannot win both ways. You cannot open doors for business and then cut their legs for making people pay for parking space.
Yeah,
it's one way or another.
I hear you. What part?
So if they want to go that way, come prepared because Carlos going to have a lot to talk about.
Oh boy. Hey, so what part of Pleasant Street are they doing from
they're not doing anything yet. What they're talking about is that $1 million that the states, okay, according to the mayor, I think some money they want to put into sidewalks. I don't approve $1 going into the sidewalks. We have good sidewalks. We don't have roots of trees coming out of the sidewalks. We have good sidewalks. We need business.
Yeah.
We need to take this money, okay, and not beautify the street. We need to turn those empty buildings, fix those buildings, and rent them so business can move in. That's what we need on Pleasant Street. Yeah. We have sidewalks. We have trees. We don't need more of that.
But well, I think if they're gonna fix Pleasant Street, they need to fix it from Plymouth Avenue over to the plaza there where Price Right is. From that area there, that part of the road is horrible, you know. And
so all that part from the plaza, from the Flint Plaza, all the way up to Eastern Avenue. Yeah. That part was all done at Lambert.
Yeah, no, that's what I thought. I said, why would
the bottom part, where's the Empire Hyundai and Hyundai and the Mills there? Yeah. Those I think are still old sidewalks. But who walks there?
Yeah, I would. Well, I mean, in the mill there, that Primacare, they fixed a lot of stuff around there on their own. I know. I'm talking about the road from there over to like Price Right and that Flint plaza, like you said, where the Popeyes is and stuff. That road is horrible there. You know, it's all torn up. That's where they need to fix, not replace anything from Quikasham up to Eastern Avenue. So hopefully that's
and forget about the water drains. Forget about the water drains. They spent so much money over there on that plaza already, putting new drains and bigger pipes and everything. Nothing's going to work because the way that the land is designed is to all the water to accumulate there. So the only solution that plaza has is to raise up at least 15 feet. From that center over there. If you raise up the ground 15 feet, it's the only way that the water is going to drain out instead of draining in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that area, as you're aware, is really the Quikasham River. We kind of paved over it, right?
Yeah.
We kind of paved over that river, and
it's going to cost a lot of money to fix that. It's not $2 million that's going to fix that. And every time they try to do something, they dig there, it's $2 million. It's not worth it. It's not going to fix the problem. Every time that rains a little bit more, that's it. The cars cannot go through that part of Pleasant Street because it's not going to be easy fix. It's going to cost a lot of money to fix it the right way.
Yeah. Well, so did you vote yesterday?
Yes.
Yesterday was the primary. Yeah, it was. I was somewhat surprised, I have to say. It was Markey and Kennedy. I guess the dynasty has kind of ended with Joe Kennedy. Has
No,
looks like Markey got in over him.
no, don't try to poke a lion because he's going to wake up. It's, believe me, could be the lion could be sleeping for another 4 years,
Yeah.
but don't wake him up because you know how people are.
Well,
They
it looked like he had a lot of support down in this area.
he winning for River big time,
Yeah.
3-1.
Yeah, and,
He winning for River 3-1.
Yeah, and I think New Bedford he did as well. On the I was a little disappointed on the Republican side. Dr. Shiva was running against a person that I didn't even know he had a opponent.
Yeah.
It was, and I don't even remember what the guy's name was. But he ended up getting 60% of the vote as opposed to Dr. Shiva's 40%. And Dr. Shiva was all over. There were commercials on the air around here. I actually went to a couple of events and basically saw the number of people there. So surprising.
Yeah. I mean, I know some candidates really they didn't waste too much money campaigning and stuff like that. Because I don't think they really thought that they had a chance.
Well, I think he did.
By the end. I did notice Trump mentioned that the loss of Kennedy. I mean, guess what? I mean, you have Baker, but Baker don't care for your policies.
Well, Baker's a Republican, but that's
exactly.
Carlos, he's a Massachusetts Republican, which is basically, a Democrat, a conservative Democrat, maybe, because I mean, let's face it, some of these races didn't even have Republicans running against the Democrats. So, I was just disappointed that I saw a lot of commercials and a lot of people didn't even know that Dr. Shiva had a opponent. And he was out there with commercials. He was out there on Twitter, on Facebook. He had people blowing horns wherever he was. And this guy comes out of nowhere. Nobody even knows him. And he gets 60% of the vote. It just didn't make any sense to me. But the voters have spoken, I guess.
Yeah. But are all the votes counted already?
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is I believe in the Kennedy's old spot with the Congress, it was kind of neck and neck between Abercross and this other lady, Memley. She is really tight with Ayanna Presley. So it was her and the Abercross guy. And it's pretty tight, which I found was interesting is they thought that, I had read this morning, they thought that he won the town of Needham. And then all of a sudden, the town of Needham said, hey, we found 4,000 ballots here. So we don't know what's going to happen. And he was way ahead. And this 4,000 ballots, these 4,000 mail-in ballots that they found, they said it made it really tight now. So this is going to be really interesting with the mail-in ballots, what happens,
let me ask you this, that you heard about this two new books that came out?
About what?
The Melania's Friends, Melania and Me.
Carlos.
Sounds like a Disney movie name. I mean, Melania and Me.
How many books are these people going to write and they're not even truthful half the time? You know what I mean? And then when they start saying things about the mainstream media, I've seen them call them out and say, these books aren't even true, and they agree. But about 6 months prior, they were all over it going, look what they said about the president or Melania or whatever. So, I mean, did you hear about, actually, there was a newscaster, Christopher Como. I don't know if you've heard of him before, but apparently he was talking to Trump's fixer there, the guy that went to jail and is out of jail now. And they have a recording of him saying that, people were saying that I sexually assaulted people, and look at me. Come on. Do I look like that type of guy that would like me to assault women? Like, look at me. So it's interesting. And then he also said, never trust the media. I don't trust the media. They distort things, or something to that effect. So it's kind of interesting that Chris Cuomo is friends with the fixer, Trump's fixer, who he hates.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
Well, we all have friends. We all have friends, you know.
No, but I mean, what do you believe? You know what I'm trying to say? That, I mean, that's actually a recording that he, you know, he's not acknowledging. So it'd be interesting to see him come out. I mean, he has no problem going on the air and destroying people's lives, right?
I know I put a couple of my friends on silence until the elections, because I could not take it more posts. These people are, I guess they do nothing during the day. It's just posting everything and anything that, you know, I don't even know. I mean, people create websites and put lies on, and these people, oh, this one is good. Oh, this one is good. And they just posted stuff. Come on, you cannot even verify if that's true. Why are you posting? I mean, I already know that you love Trump. So please just stop posting stuff. I know you love Trump.
Oh yeah, that's why I don't have.
And instead of fighting with them, I just put the friendship in sleep. Oh, yeah. You know, like during the winter, you know, when the fishes go and hibernate. Yeah. That's what I do now.
That's what you gotta do.
And all it's going to depend. Either I'm going to open them in 2 months, or I'm going to leave them sleeping for another 4.
Yeah, and no, I agree. And to me, it's like, why even bother? That's why. That's a big reason why I'm not on Facebook too. Because
look at Conway. Look at Conway.
Conway who?
The president. Kelly.
Yeah.
Conway.
Yep.
Look at her.
Yep.
The way the things are going, I think her family is destroyed. Yeah. You know, she works for the president. Even the daughters come after her on Twitter and everything. So they just have to put a stop on. She has to leave the White House. The husband has to leave the whatever he's with the other organization. Just he can have a family.
But Carlos,
just he can have a family.
How sad is that, though? Him doing that to his wife. His wife had a high position, and all he did was go after her boss. That's not very supporting of your wife doing a job. Whether you don't like the person or not, you don't go after your wife. So yeah, it's pretty sad she had to give up a career to put her family back together. That's really sad, you know.
Yeah, but that's what happened.
Yeah.
Well, it's 537 person, something like that.
537? What do you mean?
I heard that 537 people already left him since he started the president 4 years ago.
Carlos, these people are under fire nonstop. I'm surprised she lasted this long, because you ever see the press with her at press conferences? They're horrible. They're horrible. They had pictures of her one time with a dress that, you know, she liked, and they all goofed on it. They put that on the news. That's uncalled for. You know, it's uncalled for. So
look what they did with Melania doing the speech. They took her the green background. Her green dress became a studio background.
Well, Carlos, this is how bad things are. Melania Trump, all right, speaks 6 languages. I heard many people that are like big stars and people in politics saying she can't even speak English. Well, you know what? She speaks English, she has an accent, but she knows 5 other languages that some of these Americans saying this don't know. Can you ever imagine people saying that about a prior first lady? Anyone in the last 50 years? First ladies are usually off limits, along with their kids. Wow. And look what they even said about Trump's kids in the beginning. People were saying that they thought the kid was autistic and this, that. They're horrible. I'm sorry.
Well, I saw a picture from Michelle Obama compared to Melania that I didn't like it too. So, but guess what? We will talk next show about this picture. I think it was not a good picture. But anyway, we at the end of one more show.
Yep.
John, thank you again. I see you next week. You need to run for mayor.
Yeah, right. Obrigado.